Yeah, sure. I mean, there's some new things that are coming down the pike, but we have a couple established programs right now. First of which is the University Partnership Program, and what that is sharing resources between the organization and the university. So providing the university students opportunities to come moderate, to come network, to come meet industry professionals, those kind of thing. They attend conference on scholarships, stuff like that, work on their poster presentations. And I'll also add, so our last conference that we just had down in San Marcos last month, we had some fantastic moderators that came down from Oklahoma State that they are a really good university partner of ours, and they're again they're doing their poster presentations, they're getting to meet industry folks. One person, for example, did that a couple years ago and now works in the environmental program for the Oklahoma DOT.
Hey there, welcome to the Stormwater World Podcast. Shout out to our parent company, Digital Stormwater. We're out there making an impact in stormwater one click at a time. We put more stormwater people in front of your stormwater products and services. How we get there is totally up to you. Some of the services that we offer are social media management, Google, LinkedIn, and Meta ads, SEO and content creation, website builds and updates, AI automations, consulting, and a lot more. So the question is who do you know that needs our help? If you're on YouTube, you can click on that QR code to learn more, or you can give us a call at 844-451-2534, or you can visit us at digitalstormwater.com and schedule a call with us today. I'd like to thank everybody that's been listening to this podcast. We appreciate each and every one of you. Let's get back to the episode. Hey, everybody, welcome back to a new episode of the Stormwater World Podcast. Today, we're going to talk about the IECA, the International Erosion Control Association. And so I've got a couple of friends of mine that I've known for years that are involved with IECA, and specifically, they're on the board of the South Central chapter of the IECA. First up is Jeff King. Jeff's been employed with American Excelsior for over 17 years. He's a CPESC, and he currently serves as the president of the South Central chapter. And then my other good friend, Julie Morelli, who has just recently become the one of the environmental managers for HEB, headquartered out of San Antonio, and she is the vice president of technical for the South Central chapter as well. Jeff, Julie, thanks for joining me on the podcast.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate you, Ty.
Hi, Ty.
Hey, Julie. Julie is currently in a huge transition right now, and so we are very grateful for her taking the time out of her crazy schedule to be on a call with us today. But what we want to talk about is the ICA. So, Jeff, you want to start us out and just kind of break it down? I mean, there's a lot of people on here that I'm sure know, but there's probably some that don't. So let's just talk about what the ICA is and kind of what the goals of the organization are.
Sure. So as far as the IECA is concerned, it's the International Erosion Control Association, and it's the biggest goal is just to provide educational value to our members, whether that be through our chapter annual conferences or our large annual conference for the global organization. And then as well as providing monthly education throughout the year as well, and providing also some networking opportunities. So the organization consists of people from MS4s, you have engineering firms, you have companies like HEB who will now have probably several members that will join because they all have environmental departments. You have some contractors, you have you're going to also have some vendors as far as like distribution folks, and then folks like myself who work for a manufacturer. So that's pretty much what the industry or what the organization consists of, as well as some educators from some of the universities too.
Gotcha. And then so from that standpoint, you kind of have I feel like there's two main benefits, right, of being part of an organization like this. There's the networking benefits and being able to interact with all the different types of folks, like you mentioned. And then there's the educational benefit of being able to further your career in that aspect, becoming more knowledgeable and a better professional within the stormwater industry. Julie, do you want to kind of touch on kind of the breadth of all the different types of education that's offered through membership with the IECA?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm really proud of IECA for championing the idea of education forward. It's not an advertisement type of organization. A lot of focus is placed on emerging technologies for water quality, sediment, and erosion controls, changes in regulations, good outcomes for companies that are trying to do stormwater management and water management in the United States and actually globally. You know, the really fun part is watching our global partners start coming into conference and talking about case studies for channel stabilization in South America, right? Or trends in Eurasia. Just a super interesting organization and providing a lot of much needed space for people to come together and without worrying too much about being sold a lot of different products, come away with some really great ideas for solving real world problems.
So the next large conference for the ICA is coming up in February of 2025, February 25th to 28th in Richmond, Virginia. But I really want everybody to understand that the organization it's a lot more than just that one conference. Do either of you kind of want to chime in on your thoughts on that and really how people can get the most out of their membership or their involvement with the ICA?
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's some new things that are coming down the pike, but we have a couple established programs right now. Uh, First of which is the University Partnership Program, and what that is I won't go into all of the details. Let's save that for like another episode. But essentially, what it is it's being sharing resources between the organization and the university. So providing the university students opportunities to come moderate, to come network, to come meet industry professionals, those kind of thing. They attend conference on scholarships, stuff like that, work on their poster presentations. And I'll also add, so our last conference that we just had down in San Marcos last month, we had some fantastic moderators that came down from Oklahoma State that they are a really good university partner of ours, and they're again they're doing their poster presentations, they're getting to meet industry folks. One person, for example, did that a couple years ago and now works in the environmental program for the Oklahoma DOT, and she's active in the association through that. So that's one of the benefits of the university partner program. We're still trying to establish chapter-wise just kind of what that looks like. So, for instance, I'm going to be working, or our chapter is going to be working with Texas A&M. I've visited with Jet McFalls several times, and we're just in the process of trying to see what that looks like and tailor something from a chapter standpoint for the university, because the last thing we want to do is from a chapter standpoint is just tag our name on with the university and that's it, and not provide any kind of value to the university. So like I said earlier when I was talking about being able to provide them with opportunities to present and things like that, whether that's on like our monthly presentations, stuff like that, or at our conferences, that kind of avenue for them. And then
Right.
there's the young professionals program, which is basically it's 40 and under, and it's just a group of young professionals that are
Nice.
yeah, I know.
40 and under.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I still don't qualify, but it's still awesome.
Well,
So go ahead.
the cool thing is I get to go to their events because I'm the president, but I'm certainly not 40 and under, unfortunately. So, but no, they do a lot of networking and things like that. They've done events at our conferences the last 2 years where they'll take one night and just all of those folks just get together and network and talk about the industry. And then, that program is also going to be evolving, because I know Global's got some ideas. When I say global, I'm talking about IECA as a whole, the organization, right? So from Global, they're looking at evolving that program as well into making it more beneficial to our members. Julie, did you have anything you wanted to add about the University Partner Program or UP?
In general, I think it's important for folks to know that your career is a series of relationships. This group, Jeff and Ty and I, we've known each other for years. Yeah. Through job changes, through life changes. IECA was the platform through which we met. And it's not just the three of us, there's many of us out there that meet and connect at IECA year after year, have established those relationships that help build careers forever, and taken away information that really differentiates us, understanding what is really happening in the stormwater management world. IECA is the largest group of professionals that I have ever encountered with the sole focus of paying attention to that industry. And you're going to meet and mix with that group of people, whether you're an old goat or a young kid. Yeah. And there are a lot of
Goats. You
different
can make it. You
opportunities
can
to
make
do
it
that.
plural. You can make it
All
plural and
goats.
point at all of us. All go. I remember. Hey, when we got started, we were the. I felt like I was like the kid in the crowd, and that's
Absolutely.
over.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a very good point, Julie. And just to kind of go back to something you said, Jeff, that event that we were at in San Marcos, that was one of the regional offerings or regional conferences that IECA global, if you will, helps assist the local chapters in putting those events on. And so there's not just there's these live events that are available. There's a lot of resources online that are available to further your training and knowledge. And I think something else that not just the friendships that we've been able to make, like Julie mentioned over the years, but I feel like this industry, whether you're a contractor or you're on the municipal, wow, on the municipal side of things, um, it can almost feel a little confrontational, little bit of there's a little bit of stress that's involved in the stormwater industry, and in challenges and ever changing regulations and lack of money and on and on and on, that makes it very lonely, I would think, at times, if you're trying to run a program, right? And so it's the relationships like these or the people that you can reach out to. And I can say for a fact that the smartest person in this current room would be Julie. And so if you had a
Facts.
problem,
Facts.
and I know Jeff takes no offense to
No,
that.
none whatsoever.
But so, and if I ever had a question, if I were in that situation and if I needed somebody to bail me out of a problem that was trauma related, I would absolutely pick up the phone and call Julie. And so that's the kind of things and the relationships that you develop, and it benefits her at zero, right? It's just a friend calling her and saying, "Hey, I've got this problem," and I know she would help. Because it's not only who she is, but it's just, I feel like it's kind of how the organization operates. In that, do you all have some examples that you'd like to share? I kind of put you on the spot a little bit. That how, maybe being part of ICA, or now that you guys have been on the board for a while, how it has affected your career or your personal professional development. You have any stories you'd like to share about that?
Yeah, I'll let Julie go first.
Oh, on the
Ladies
spot
first.
for real.
Julie's like, cool. Julie was like, cool. Jeff's going to go first, so I can sit here and think about it for a second. And then he just totally rolled the bus over you. Anyways.
All right. So my first annual conference was in 2013, I think, so 11 years ago. And at that point, I'd been doing stormwater management for a while already. But like you said, Ty, it's a lonely industry. You begin to think that every time you show up on the property, your job is to try not to pick a fight just to get compliance to happen, or to keep the sediment out of the creek, or stop the washout from entering the storm drain, or liaise between the different folks. Walking into IECA, talking to design engineers, talking to inspectors, talking to BMP installers, and having regulators in the room created a network for me that gave me the practice to actually speak everybody's language. I understood where the contractor's perspective was coming from. understood the regulators' perspective. I heard from the design engineers. And that has evolved over time to today. I speak all of those languages fluently. I understand those different perspectives, and I can help bridge the conversation between disparate parties in an argument over an outcome we all share. You know, most of us have some passion for nature. We want to fish, we want to swim, we want to be able to walk through the puddle in the parking lot without fear of contaminant, you know, getting into us. We all share that desire, and now we can share a common language and get to those outcomes working together. And I fundamentally think IECA has been pivotal in that conversation because of the number of people who have come to the conferences and been allowed to have those conversations without being on a project, without it being a pay item. You know, just actually talking about why this is important or what your perspective is has really improved my ability to have those conversations. And I'm sure I'm not alone in that event.
That's
All right,
fantastic.
Jeff, your turn.
Well, my
You're
my
up.
journey started. I've been in this industry since I was 29 years old. I've been around it my entire life. I'm second generation with my company. My dad still works for the company, and I started attending events with him, like I said, when I was 29 years old, and I thought it was good for like the networking sort of. As a vendor at the time, I just really wasn't quite sure what I was doing, if I'm being completely honest, because I was still learning. So,
Do you
um,
feel like that's changed? Do you feel like that's changed, Jeff?
oh, I do actually, because here's the thing. So
I'm just kidding. I'm
I
kidding.
stepped away from the ICA as far as being very active for a while. And I got a new director, and he challenged each of us to get more involved with the organization and start trying to take on leadership positions, on the board for the chapters and things like that. And it was through a relationship that I had, which actually I'm not sure if I met Sonny. I don't think I met him through the IECA, but we continued our relationship through it, later on. But I was able to get involved with the board, and it's I'm looking at it from a whole different perspective now, especially as we're starting to diversify our educational offering at our conferences. I'm actually sitting through classes now, whereas I never did that before. I would just take that time and just go get on my computer or do whatever. I wasn't really interested. So I think that the organization has done a pretty good job of getting me more excited and more involved in what we're doing, and that's benefited me professionally. Like y'all were talking about, just some of the relationships that we've been able to form through the organization. I'm taking on a new part of the territory starting January 1st, and guess what? It's not really going to be a learning curve because it's all people I already hang out with at our association
Nice.
annual
Well,
shows.
congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Cool. So you can go to IECA.org, and there's a handful of different ways, I guess, that you can get involved with the organization. There is a student membership that's $25 if you're, and that's a year if you're enrolled in college. And then if you're a young professional, it's $115. So if you're 41 or older, for those of us, right? I guess I did. That's oh, it says, hey, on the website it says 35, Jeff.
It's 35. I always thought it was 40. I don't know.
We say
I don't
40
know.
at conference.
Yeah, we
Oh,
do say
you say
40 at
40?
conference.
I mean, we're only going to push this across the entire internet and YouTube, but hey, is what it is. I'm with you guys. I'll die on that hill with you guys. 40 it is.
Either
As I
way,
turn 50,
get
as I
involved.
turn 50 in February,
Oh,
right?
wow.
So and then it's $200 for a professional membership, and then I think they've got corporate membership. So if your company can get involved and you've got multiple people, I'm sure there's some sort of discount there. And then there's a professional plus membership. So I encourage you go to IECA.org. And then as part of that process, it's real simple. When you fill out, as somebody that has been involved in the ICA and was part of on the board way back in the day, when you sign up for your membership, part of your membership fee goes to the local chapter. So that's all kind of taken care of. You don't have to join your local chapter as well as the main global organization, as Jeff had mentioned before. You just joined the ICA. and everything's good there. And then you have access to all of the resources, educational opportunities, and networking opportunities that they offer. I guess, like, and kind of wrapping these ideas up. I mean, is there anything that we're missing that you guys would want to share with somebody that's looking to further their career or that's new to the industry? I think it's a slam dunk if you're new to the industry, right? If you're new to the industry, just so much information there. Come to an event. I mean, I will say this, and then I'll let you guys kind of um, jump on what I say, and if you agree or disagree. But if you pay your $200, it's not going to fall in your lap. So, you gotta, if you join the organization, you need to actually try to seek out the education that's offered to you, right? Take advantage of the webinars, take advantage of the conferences, talk to your bosses and stuff and say, hey, I want to be a part of this and this is why, and engage, right? Like, just because you're a member of the ICA and you're in that member directory, that it's not magic, right? Would you guys agree with that? You have to actually kind of still roll up your sleeves a little bit and still do a little bit of work.
Yeah, you got to put yourself out there a little bit. And the other thing I'll say too is while we are mainly an educational organization, we also want to provide value to our vendor partners as well. Because as y'all know, these conferences a lot of times can't happen without the vendors. So it's kind of a thing where we allow, and that's where partner programs like the Young Professionals Program and things like that really help our vendors as well. But we're able to use our vendors to help educate too, because there are so many great BMPs that are out there. Not just the ones that my company makes or whomever. Like, there are so many good BMPs that are used, and new technology being used and things like that. And that, from a chapter standpoint, is really what we try to promote. I mean, we have a non-commercialization policy for our presentations, and I feel like we're pretty good about sticking with that. And every single one of our vendors has great presentations that are not that are non-branded, and so they're able to provide that education not just on things like water quality, but on systems that may work to help promote good water quality, those kind of things. So I think there's pretty much value all the way around.
No, I agree with that. Julie, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I would also add that IECA provides a lot of opportunity for personal leadership growth. You may start out like I did as a member in the crowd, and now I've been sitting on the local board for a handful of years with various. Jeff's our current president. I think I've been there through 3 different presidents, always holding the technical position because that's my passion. I really love the educational component, and you know that about me. Yeah. So IECA has afforded me the opportunity to get up in front of the national audience and say what I know and be recognized as a leader in the industry. My company has recognized me for those skills. I'm sure it has contributed to the progression of my career over the years, and my ability to actually convey information has improved because of the opportunity to present on the IECA platform and to watch other people do the same and learn and grow through those channels, including this one, Ty. So thanks for letting us be here.
Well, absolutely. I'm happy that you guys are able to come on. And I know what you say, your passion is technical, but I've watched you over the years, Julie, and I would say this, and this is something we may have alluded to, we didn't really directly touch on, and that is, the progression you're talking about, because I've watched you take, people on your team, I call them your kids, right, that have been in your previous employment, and bring them through the ranks and get them exposure and get them the opportunity to speak, and I agree with you. I think if you can speak in a room full of your peers on any subject, but if it's specifically the subject in which you are working in day to day, that is only going to transfer into being able to communicate better with the folks that you're trying to solve problems with. So instead of it being a confrontational um, or standoff, or that feeling, like you said, when you walk on a site and it's like, who am I going to have to stand in between today and to try to get this done? It becomes a much better situation and a much more fluid, an easier situation, because now your team, as because you've shown your leadership skills and you're bringing your team up along with you, they can effectively communicate with these contractors and these other various stakeholders in an issue. And now, instead of a problem, it just becomes a challenge that they're all trying to solve together. So kudos to you on all of that. And I'm sure, I would assume it'll happen again in your current and new position. Can't wait to see your new batch of kids that you're going to be bringing up
Pretty excited.
in
I'm
the
pretty
storm
excited.
in the stormwater ranks.
Yep.
Jeff is president of the local chapter, or the South Central. I call it the local chapter because it's my chapter, but the South Central chapter. You have any other final thoughts before we kind of wrap it up today?
No, I just, I mean, mainly I appreciate you taking the time to have Julie and I on here. Julie, I thank you for hopping on and sharing what we are trying to offer educationally, and just the value that we're trying to provide as a chapter. And our chapter makes up Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana. I do want to announce that we are having our chapter conference next year on October 7th and 8th in Oklahoma City, downtown Oklahoma City. We chose that market because that area is an area that has developed an increasingly high appetite for stormwater quality. They're really, the last 5 years I've seen a lot of growth in that area, and there's a lot of enthusiasm in the state of Oklahoma, and we'll be looking to do the same thing in Arkansas and Louisiana. So yeah, just if you can, just come to check out one of our events, hop on our website, see what we have to offer, give one of our board members a call. Any one of us would be happy to take a call from you if you wish to discuss. And, there are other chapters too, for those of you. I know Ty is worldwide. So, there's the Australasia, there's Southeast chapter, the Pacific Northwest, there are chapters in your areas. Just plug in, get involved, and let's all grow together.
Fantastic. Well said. Julie, any final thoughts?
Couldn't have said it better than Jeff.
That's right. That's right.
Come check us out. It's a great organization.
Yep. Yeah. Hey, and kudos to you guys for already knowing your location for the regional conference for next year. That's awesome.
Yeah, we've had a couple of conferences that were not as good as we had hoped, and so we're trying to stay ahead of that. Just like we're also trying to stay ahead of, from a chapter standpoint, of like the education that we're doing monthly. We're going to be trying to stay a quarter ahead. But about the conference, yeah, we had that contract signed, actually, I think before our last conference that we had down in San Marcos, and so. We're using the resources available to us made by Global, IECA Global. Joanna and Michelle Thorne and Samantha are fantastic to work with. And, we're very fortunate to have those resources available to us.
That's awesome. Yeah, and that regional conference, I was there personally, and it was definitely a great step in the right direction. I was pleasantly surprised with the attendees, and then everybody said all the content was on point as well, and the content, regardless of the amount of people show up. If I always feel like the content's on point, which is always a shame if we don't have the people that we want. But this year it was great. I thought it was great. I think I think the numbers can go even higher in Oklahoma City. I think that's a great location, actually. So it was an easy one for me this year because it's in my backyard. So it was easy drives, like Julie, easy one for. Yeah. It was an easy one for her, except for she was out of the country, But and then she comes flying back in last minute with not sleep deprived, but I think the conference went well for all. The conference went well for me and you, Jeff. I think. I don't know. I can't speak for Julie. I don't know if she remembers.
So it was funny because Julie did. She came like literally, it was almost like she just walked off the jetway and went up to do her presentation. And you could tell she came from Europe. So you could tell she was a little tired, but there was a moment in about the first 2 minutes of that presentation, it flipped and Julie went into educator mode. And if you haven't had an opportunity to hear Julie speak, I highly encourage you to seek that out, because you're going to get a fantastic education, and she's just a great speaker. And she was our keynote and, for our conference. And, we thank her for that. And she's just a valuable resource for sure.
You guys are sweet.
It worked out.
Let me keep doing
All
it.
I know, yeah, as you should. Hey, all I know is I was on Facebook and I saw you in a different country, and I was like, hey, I think she's keynote tomorrow. Oh, that'll be
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. That was tough.
Yeah.
You made it.
I
You
Well, we
made it.
made
had a
it.
backup plan. I mean, we had a backup plan in case there were any kind of like travel snafus or whatever. But Julie made it as per usual, and she knocked it out of the park.
All right, you guys. I thank you so much for being on the podcast today and explaining to everybody about the IECA and the benefits of being part of the organization. If anybody wants to reach out to Jeff or Julie, their contact information will be in the show notes. And with that, that's the pod. We'll see y'all later.